Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to an updated mod spotlight on ComputerCraft. Since my last mod spotlight, quite a few things have been added to ComputerCraft which make for some really awesome and cool contraptions that you can build. We're going to get into advanced computers and advanced monitors, and we're also going to talk about my personal favorite, touchscreen monitors. That's right, you can actually build monitors in the world that can interact as a touchscreen, so you can simply walk up to a monitor and right click and have it interact with the monitor. It's pretty awesome, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. I've already started building stuff in the ForgeCraft series with touchscreen monitors, and I'm loving them. So let's start talking about the differences between computers and advanced computers. They're pretty cool. So let's talk about the main difference between your regular computers and your advanced computers. Advanced computers, for one, have color on their screens. So for example, if we were to edit a program called test, you can see that when you encapsulate a string in quotes, it colors it red. And if you have a comment, it colors it green. So as you're writing code, you can kind of see things. It also colors it gold if it's a reserved word like for or if or then. Those get colored gold. So you can say for x is equal to 1 comma 3, do if string equals test, then print string. So it makes it a lot easier to write your code because it makes it easier to read. Like there's all kinds of different colors going on here, and it makes things come out pretty fancy. And we can also, if we want, go ahead and print out colors. So it's really easy to set that up. All you have to do is run a command called term.setTextColor, and then you can pass it whatever color you want. You can use the colors command the same way you would modify your wires, or you can go ahead and throw numbers at it if you want. That would work as well. And from here, you can also see another one that I'm actually printing out. It's the term.isColor. What that's going to do is just return true or false if the terminal is actually a color monitor. So let's see, I missed a close parentheses here. Let's give this a shot. There we go. It returned true, and it printed out test in the color blue. Really easy. You can go ahead and use whatever colors you want. So we could do, for example, light blue. And you'll see that it prints out in light blue. Not bad at all. Now the other thing you can do is set background colors. How cool is that? So you can kind of go with all kinds of neat different colors here for both your background and your text color, and you can of course modify it however you want. Neat. Not bad at all. Now to go along with the advanced computers, we've got advanced monitors, and these guys work just like the standard monitors that you're used to, except, they can do color. How cool is that? So let's check it out. All you gotta do is set up a monitor setup here. Not bad. And we're gonna go ahead and wrap the peripheral on the right to the letter M. That sounds pretty good. And then we'll just say, first we can do this, m.set background color, because we want to set the background color of the monitor, and we'll do colors.red, and then we'll do set text color to colors.white. That sounds pretty good. And then we can do m.write string. So let's try this out. Cool, it worked. How cool is that? So you can see we got a red background and white colored text. And of course you can do pretty much the exact same thing with the monitors that you do with this guy. So if we wanted to change the text color to be blue, it would work the same way. Not bad. Don't forget, of course, if you're working with monitors, you want to clear your screen and send carriage returns and all that good stuff. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same thing. You can have all the coloring that you want. That is cool. So you can come up with these really fancy looking designs on your monitors. Alright, so now that you guys saw how cool the color monitor stuff can be, let's show how awesome touchscreens can be. Let's check it out. I've written a quick program called Touchscreen to demonstrate for you guys how this works. First, again, I'm wrapping the peripheral on the right into the M, and then we're going to get the X and Y, the maximum size of the monitor. So that's what m.getSize does, and that's been in ComputerCraft for a while. And then we're going to print out the size of the monitor. And then while true, we're going to do an OS pull event. And basically what that does is it puts the computer in a mode where it's waiting for an event to happen. And the event that's going to happen is the monitor_touch. And that's one of the new events that are available in the OS pull event. Monitor_touch will wait for a touch on the monitor. And then what it does is it outputs the event that was pulled. So the event, for example, is monitor_touch. We're going to ignore that. It'll tell you what side the monitor is. So you can actually have two monitors, one on the right, one on the left, or even like, all kinds of monitors all over the place. And it'll tell you which side was clicked on. So in this case, it's going to be right. And then it'll give you the X and the Y coordinates of where the player touched the screen. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and run it. So when I run touch screen, it's going to tell me the size of the monitor. For example, this monitor is 39 across and 19 down. Not bad. Now if I click on the very top left of this screen, right there for example, it's going to say that it was clicked on the right monitor, this one over here, and the XY coordinates that I clicked on were 1, 1. Now the max X is 39, remember, so if I click over here, we should get 39, 1, 39 on the X and 1 on the Y. And somewhere in the middle here will probably be somewhere around, 20, 1, perfect. Down here, the bottom left, is X1 and Y19. Because remember 19 is the maximum Y. And then the far bottom right is 3919. Cool. Or 40, I guess. Wow. All right, right at the edge there it looks like. Cool, 39, 20. So right on the edge, right around there. Not bad. So the monitor here is going to pretty much tell you exactly where the player clicked when that fires. And you can use that to figure out exactly where the person is clicking and then execute a function based on that. So let's look at a little piece of code that I wrote in my multiplayer series that's going to make this a little bit easier. And I'll go ahead and paste bin this code if you want. It's not the best program in the world, but it'll, get you by. Alright guys, so I created a little program called Button. Now I wrote this in my multiplayer series, but I'm going to paste spin it for you guys. I've kind of generalized it. It should basically work. But just to give you a little bit of background here, real quick, it's going to connect to the monitor on the right. You're going to have to change that if your monitor is on a different side. And then you're going to have a variable called Button, which is basically going to be a two-dimensional array. It's going to be almost like a table. The first element in that array is the name of the button, and then everything else inside that array is the second part of that array is another array where you store the name of the function that's going to be called when the button is clicked, whether or not the button is currently active, which you may or may not want to use, and the X, Y, and X minimum, X maximum, Y minimum, and Y maximum. So you can set the size of the button using those. And it's real easy to go ahead and fill in that table. All you have to do is run the set table command. The name of the button is button text for this example. And it's going to call the function called funcName. And you can see funcName up here. All that does is print to the monitor, you clicked button text. Pretty cool. And then you can define the size. So you put the X and Y of where you want things to be. So this is going to be X5 to X, X5, Y25. I think that's X is 25 actually. Yeah, X, Y, Y. So it's X5 to X25 and Y4 to Y8. Make sense? Cool. And then there's all this code here that basically fills in the button, tries to determine where the center of the button is, and it's going to do its best to center the background, the word inside the button. So basically when we run the program, it's going to fill in the table with that first thing that I ran. It's going to clear the monitor on the right, and it's even got a heading setting, so you can go ahead and put a heading up there, and it's going to try and center that on the screen too. It's going to put that in the first line. Then it's going to fill in the screen, and it'll run the local, it's going to run for that pull event for the monitor_touch again. Cool. And then finally we get the X and Y printed out on the screen. That's just a debug line. You can remove that if you want. And then the button here, check XY, basically what that does is it goes ahead and looks at the XY that was clicked and tries to determine which of the table entries that corresponds to. And it's going to go ahead and run the function. And it also toggles the active state. And the active state determines the color of the button. So you can kind of have like an on-off system here. You can also, ignore that if you want. But long story short, let's see what it does. When we run the button command here, you'll see over on the right, we've got this nifty little thing. The heading is there, and the button text is 5 to 25, and then 4 to 8 down. So it centered the button text, it put it in the middle, both on the horizontal and the vertical, and whenever we click within that button text, it's going to turn it to green, and it's going to print out "you clicked button text." That's the function I told it to run whenever this button is clicked. Cool. And clicking it again turns it to red, and again it runs the "you clicked button text." Cool. You can have as many buttons as you want. So let's go ahead and add a button here. And again, this is all code that I wrote. You guys can write your own, but it's just to demonstrate, what's possible with this nifty thing. Cool. And I'm going to make it like some really big stuff, okay? And I'm going to have it run the same function when you click that. And I'm going to put that at 5,50. Well, now let's go with 5,35 because I think that screen isn't that big. And we'll put it at, let's say 9, 10. Let's see how that runs. Cool. Other button is cool. Nice. If you want, of course, you can go ahead and just give yourself a little bit more room so that there's a gap in between the two buttons. Because remember, it starts at 8, but 9 is filled in because it's one block high, right? So if we go 10, we can make it to 12 if we want. Cool. Look at that. Pretty neat, right? So it's an easy way to mess around with buttons and have each button call a certain function in ComputerCraft. It's pretty basic code. It's not like, the best code ever written, but, I'll paste bin this for you guys. Let's just do this. Paste bin put button. So there you go. If you guys want to go grab that, be my guest. Hope you enjoyed it. And it's a pretty cool little program that allows you to mess around with stuff. Of course, the program does need to be running in order for the touchscreen to work. But yeah, those are touchscreen monitors. You can do a bunch of cool things with them. It's really an expansive system. If you want to mess around with monitors and computers, have them interactive in world, it's a great way to do it. Touchscreen monitors are awesome. And this is Direwolf20 wrapping up on the ComputerCraft Spotlight. I believe it's version 1.4.8. It's currently for Minecraft version 1.4.7. It's pretty cool. Color monitors, color computers, interactive monitors via the touchscreen function. So awesome. Gotta love it. Hope you guys enjoyed checking it out. And as always, take it easy.